This right here is the secret to playing golf with a strong grip using the driver. Could you tell what it was? It's all to do with maximizing the rotation we can generate through our downswing. And when we maximize rotation in the downswings, it allows us to create more shaft lean. And when we create shaft lean, it actually forces the hands to stay ahead of the club face. And what we'll notice with this here is it encourages the club head to be open. That's assuming a neutral grip. But when we have this strong grip, and when we get a strong grip in our golf game and swinging back and forth, normally we would have the club face very close. A strong grip encourages a very close club face at impact. But if we can produce more what we call shaft lean, and therefore maximizing or getting way more rotation in that downswing, we're going to be able to square things up beautifully. Now, to be able to implement more rotation in that downswing, keeping this club face nice and square at impact, there's three key elements that we want to be making sure we've got in our golf swings so that we can maximize this and keep that club face nice and square and start seeing those straighter golf shots as opposed to them going straight left due to us closing down that club face way too much and reducing the loft on the shots. Kicking things off with speed. Too many golfers, especially when they're on that first tee, set up to the golf ball with their strong grip, and the first thing that they think about is, I don't want to hit this too far left, I need to make sure I'm swinging slower. Well, when we swing slower with the driver, it encourages our body to stop rotating earlier in that downswing. And we stop that rotation earlier in the downswing. The problem with this is now that the hands have to continue that motion to hit the golf ball. And when they continue that motion with this strong grip, all we're going to do is close that face down massively. So technically a slower swing with a strong grip isn't good at all. It's only going to encourage more of that closed club face at impact and therefore more shots to the left. So if we can apply more speed on the downswing, that's going to make things so much easier. You can see here, as soon as I apply more speed into that downswing, I'm getting more body rotation, able to keep those hands ahead, forming that shaft lean and keeping that face nice and square. I'm stopping my hands and arms from releasing that club too early. So the first drill I'm going to introduce is the step and rotate drill for adding this speed into your golf swing. And anyone can do this no matter their age or ability. And I want you to set up like this here. And as you can see, my left foot, my lead foot being a right-handed player, is severely flared out like this. It's almost on what to me looks like a 45-degree angle. If this was 90 degrees and where my shoulders are aiming are at 0 degrees here, almost on this 45-degree angle, whereas my trail foot, my right foot, is only ever so slightly flared out on this almost 85-degree angle. The idea of this is we're wanting to get these hips to open up in that downswing basically. So when I make my swing back, everything's going to stay normal, but then as soon as I make my way down, I want there to be a little bit of a pause in between the backswing and downswing to allow you to take a step forward and opening your foot, your left foot, your lead foot even more so. And then as we've done this here, we can swing through. Now the idea of doing this in stages is getting that body to rotate quicker and get switched on much sooner as soon as we start that downswing, as opposed to getting to somewhere here and then, oh, it's too late then because the club face is too closed. So swinging up to the top, setting up like this here, all the way up to the top of the swing, take that step, opening that foot up even more, and what you should be able to feel is that hip opening up even more so, and then from there we're going to rotate round and through. So once you've got used to doing this in a couple of stages, back and forth, we can start to increase the speed even more. So swinging up to the top, step, really swing through. Again, go again. So one to the top, step, and through. And everything's pulling. Your body is pulling the arms through. And when we get that body to pull the arms through, what does this do? Holds the hands ahead of the club face even more, keeps the shaft lean, gets the body turning, of course, and squares up that club face. Now, I wouldn't recommend hitting shots doing this, just simply because when we get that forward movement, forward press and turning, it's really hard to time it with the club, but it's very easy for us to just make a few swings and increase that speed massively. Just from getting this lead half of the body to really fire as soon as we start that downswing move. I tried to do this a couple of days ago, testing this drill out myself. What I found was that it was very difficult for us to increase that speed. We were always inclined to slow down because there's a lot of moving parts. Whereas if we take the ball away and we just make that swing, it's much easier to swing quick. To be able to repeat this action, we need flexibility. Over and over again, if we're going at speed and really firing this movement here, getting this big step and rotating on the way through, opening that hip, we need a lot of flexibility for this. And this second drill I'm going to introduce for the flexibility side of things, and this is the second key element that I want you to take on board from this video, is this device here. So I've got the True Turn Pro, and the idea of the True Turn Pro training aid here is to allow you to really get that sensation of the tilting motion that's required in the backswing and downswing and follow through, but also the amount of rotation that we should be creating as we make our way into the top of the swing and all the way through to finish. So just taking this out either side with your hands gripped onto the palms are facing away from you, having these 2 points here just on the armpits like this here, that allows me then to really encourage my shoulders and hips to rotate even more. So you can hear it with the way I'm speaking here. It's quite difficult, of course. The idea of this is to stretch that body out. Then moving this into the downswing, really forcing this action here on the way through, really gets those hips opening up on the way through to ensure we're getting that rotation, more rotation, maxing this out so we don't hit those shots to the left. And of course you can apply that step and rotate drill if you wanted to, just setting the feet up as normal, taking that backswing, step, really turn on the way through. So speed to really help generate this movement, but flexibility to keep it. But to be able to control this, we need strength. Just a quick shout out to GX Golf. They provide high quality golf clubs for a fraction of the price in comparison to the rest on the market. Using my discount code below, Harry10, you can get yourself a great 10% discount. I'd highly recommend you check them out and see what you think for yourself. How can we implement the strength required to be able to control that speed, but also that flexibility aspect as well? You can do this by applying more tension in your arms as you make your way through the shot. So if we stay loose and relaxed, and we generate loads of speed, which is great, eventually it's very easy for us to then close that face down because the arms are staying very relaxed, too relaxed, and then we get that early release of the club. Great if we've got a normal grip, but with a strong grip, we're going to be closing that down massively. And some of the best players on tour with a strong grip, the best example I can give on the spot is Dustin Johnson. When you watch him on the way through, his forearms are really strong, holding on to this position here just to ensure that that club head doesn't overtake the hands, but also to control that speed he's generating, swinging over 120 miles an hour every single time. So a simple drill you can do to control this is imagining there's a bar right in front of you that goes across, almost like a soccer crossbar or a football crossbar in the UK. And again, I'd recommend starting very slow just to get used to this movement. Just going up to the top, speed, a little bit of speed applied on the downswing, holding that position there. Don't let the club head itself touch that crossbar. Then we're working our way up into faster swings. And then we can start to really go for it. And we're just stopping at that point there. I wouldn't go 100% of your maximum until you've got used to adding that extra bit of flexibility with this, because you might end up pulling something if you're going really full out and then stopping here, because then your body's rotating and then stopping very quickly. That's tricky to do over and over again unless you have that flexibility side. Now you've learned the 3 key elements: speed, flexibility, strength, that are going to help you apply the secret to playing golf with a strong grip in your driver swing, getting that maximum body rotation to square up the face. But there's one more thing I've left last minute that I'd like to tell you, which is a bonus tip that's going to help you once you get used to these, doing these 3 movements and applying these in your golf swing. It's going to be way easier for when you take this movement to the course. So I've got the tour rotation stick here on the end of my grip, and all I'm aiming to do is when I make a couple of swings now is to avoid that stick. Now, in order for me to avoid the stick here from touching my body, I've got to apply way more rotation, but I've also got to hold this angle here between my hands and where the club head is. I've got to apply that tension, that strength, to ensure that stick doesn't come and hit me. I've also got to apply that flexibility to ensure that I can rotate enough to avoid the stick from hitting me. But I've also got to apply that speed simply to be able to hit it quite far. But this acts as a great almost combination of applying those 3 key elements into your golf swing. But I highly recommend working on those 3 drills, those 3 sections that I gave you beforehand, before you then bring this all into one motion using the tool rotation stick. You can also get this again at Golf Swing Systems by using the link in the description below. And look at that one there. Nowhere near the left side of the fairway on this driving range on TrackMan. Nice little fade, fading away just from the target. Perfect. So hitting those shots straight down the middle of the fairway, what should we be doing when we get up there and using the irons? What's the secret to playing golf with a strong grip using the irons? Well, I talk about this and reveal this in this video over here. So I highly recommend checking that out, subscribing to the channel so you stay tuned to more content like this coming out every Tuesday and Friday. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video.